Hi. Did you know we all think that it'd be safe to invest in the stock market? IRAs, 401ks, and the like. But it's the financial advisors of top-notch wealthy people who teach you what we've been lied about for decades. Hey, I'm Jimi Hendrix, and this episode is called The Stock Market, a Bunko Game on Empower Your Pattern 2.0. Did you know that there are success patterns to help you receive more, to help you live and enjoy a better and extraordinary life right now? Well, I'm Jimi Hendrix. I'm a success, confidence, and thrive coach, a self-published author, and member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And if you come with me, I will show you these success patterns. Let's go. Shock. Shock. If you're like me, maybe you weren't able to take some of the higher maths in high school beyond Algebra 1. You took a course in consumer math. And some of the teachers are like, hey, if you want to be savvy about wealth creation, you need to invest in the stock market and follow the stock tips. And so I joined with a bunch of my peers from Permian High School and a Texas School for the Blind. They had this erroneous belief that you buy a stock when it's plummeted, and then you sell it when it's at its peak. Yeah, that's the same old teaching that has been taught for decades. That was the spring and summer of 1990, my junior year at Permian Junior High, summer at the School for the Blind, and I was 20 years old. And then, 6.5 years later, I'm listening to Business Voice Smells. I'm in network marketing with my ex-wife. You remember the series I told you about with Elias Grace, right? Elias Grace said, if you think that it's safe to build wealth by investing in the stock market, it's what you've been taught in school, right? You've been sold a bill of goods. Because that's a tower that builds up and keeps falling. It's kind of like I like it back to a Jenga tower. Those of you who remember playing Jenga maybe as a kid, I've only discovered it really in adulthood. Shows how sheltered I have been so much. But I love Jenga. But not because I construct Jenga towers with it, but I also use it for strategic things. To work on my goals and dreams and the like. But anyway, I digress. So I listened to that, and some of the other people I heard at conventions talk about the faultiness of the stock market. I thought, well, it has to make sense. 9 years later, it's 2005, and then 2006, I'm listening to Robert Kiyosaki. And if I remember correctly, in a CD he made about network marketing, he said that playing with the stock market is like for wishing something from the Easter Bunny and gambling at blackjack. I have to agree. And see, Elias Grace and Robert Kiyosaki ain't the only one. I have a good friend of mine and mentor at Toastmasters who did a speech several weeks ago called "The Stock Market is a Ponzi Scheme." And you know what? Quite a few people were skeptical. I was not. Going to those conventions and hearing those educational and pep talks, my eyes were open. Because you know what they don't tell you? Oh, they might mention it with fine print and stuff on TV and stuff like that. But your brokers, they tack on fees upon fees upon fees upon fees. Lines up the brokers' back pockets. Lines up the corporate execs' back pockets. And the middle class, or whoever's willing to play Russian roulette with the Easter Bunny, they get nothing. Nothing. So why do we do it? To build up wealth, huh? No, don't that sound kind of silly? When you have people like Robert Kiyosaki that say stuff like that is like a rat race. You're pursuing money for money's sake. It's like an object instead of a tool to bless the lives of yourself and others around you. Particularly working on others as well. Other-centered. But the stock market is not others-centered. Okay? I watched a movie back in 2010 in my ethics class. The movie was called Wall Street. It was off this guy named Gordon Gekko. Top executive. And he was lining his pockets with plummeted stocks. And then they drive up the price. Next thing you know, it's a pump and dump. And every one of the underlings, under him, they got burned. Bye-bye. Think about it. Now, there's one movie that's out there that's popular, particularly among the younger generation, called The Wolf of Wall Street. But I think it glamorizes Wall Street a bit too much. You look at Gordon Gekko. That guy's an ethics thing going to happen. When you're investing in the stock market, you are lining up the pockets of those top corporate execs. Those execs who may not have your best interests at heart. May not hold to the same core beliefs you are. You know what you're better off doing? Investing in a business system that can help you build wealth. You know? Real estate is one. Franchising is one. And the one that I recommend is network marketing. Another thing that you can invest in is precious metals. I want you to think about this, okay? I want you to think about this and think about this hard. We are given a blessing from the Lord. This is not some sealed secret about the stock market. I mean, when I heard about it back in 1996, I was like, oh my gosh. You mean to tell me I went with a small group of friends in private saying, oh, buy the stock when the stock plummets, and then sell it when it gets high. Now, I hope you enjoy listening to Empower Your Pattern 2.0. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and become a citizen of Pattern Realm. This is Jimi Hendrix saying until next time, don't just sit there and take it. Build your dreams so you can take it. Do what others don't so you can be what others won't. And do what others won't so you can have what others can't. Choose, act, and pursue happiness. God bless you. Happy New Year.